I like it. It's
lovely.
nice.
That's what we like. Morning after with Nick and Big J, wrapping up day number 2 of Rock on the Range with some of our favorite people in the world. Young Guns is hanging out with us again. Good to see you guys again.
Great
Hello,
to see
mate.
you, mate.
Thank you.
Last time we saw you, you were just kind of getting started on the States run. We were 10 years. You were opening
right.
up that show.
Yeah.
You've since been out on the road with Hailstorm, Both My Valentine, another run. Here you are at Rock on the Range. Your initial perceptions of the States, were they what you thought?
Just been unbelievable.
Yeah.
We've been so spoiled.
We've
haven't
basically been in shock since we started touring over
we? Yeah,
here.
we exist in a permanent state of
And we're still we're massive tourists, like we get excited by anything to from a fire hydrant to a curb so when we see something like Niagara Falls or like what's it called
Grand Canyon.
Grand
What are you talking
Canyon,
about?
Grand
Yeah.
Canyon.
That little old place.
It's a big hole.
Yeah.
That's all it is, man.
But the thing is, because we're from England, you grow up watching American TV, you grow up listening to American music, and what that means is that everything in America has an iconic quality to it, be it the width of the side of the roads, or the size of your cars, or the size of your portions, or the size of your natural attractions. Everything is just larger than life, and dude, I saw that on TV when I was a kid. Oh my god, so everything is exciting. You could take us to like a really bad area of town, and everyone's like, "Ugh, this place sucks," and we're like, "Dude, this is a bad area of town. That's so cool."
Look at that hobo. He's barely breathing.
Look how American those dudes look. It's great. It's terrible, but we love absolutely every kind of little bit of what we've seen over here.
Unlike most, we've actually driven here from Boise, Idaho,
Yes.
in a car, and so it's 2,200 miles. We're doing the same thing, man. We see like a
Wow.
big cross, we'll take a picture.
Right.
I mean, whatever. It's still.
how long did that take just to ask?
Well, it took us 3 days to get here, and then we'll take 4 days to get home.
Wow.
But it's fun.
Well, we
man.
know
It's-
how that feels.
Exactly. No stranger to
trip.
that stuff.
Exactly.
But it is one of those things where somebody you get spoiled. You don't even recognize it. You don't realize that some of this stuff is on the road, and so taking pictures and
course.
kind of oohing and on at it, it's pretty cool.
And
Yeah,
that's
it's
the thing,
great.
because we're lucky enough to be able to do so many cool things, and each day at a different great venue, doing different things. So photos is our only memory now, because we're in a band, so we're not all bright.
There's
you
a
know?
degree of alcohol
So,
involved as
yeah,
well, so
so
things
when
get
you've
a bit
had few-
hazy.
So you take lots of photos, and that's how you remember it. And
Lyrics
usually you
and all
remember it
kinds
for
of
the worst.
stuff,
Yeah.
And at the same time, you got a #1 song
Yeah.
on the American Active Rock chart.
So
Think about that for a second.
Think about
That's
how
pretty
excited
cool.
we get by a fire hydrant. So
Number
Yeah.
one
Number
on
one,
Rock
we
Radio.
were like, what?
Use that as a chart for how
Yeah.
insanely blown away we are right there.
Yeah, because I mean,
Blow Up Dolls got laid.
yeah, crazy. When we had you in, it was just turned top 10, and so to see
Right.
it kind of peak up and get you guys number
Well,
one.
even then we were
Yeah,
amazed.
Of course.
yeah,
you
we were
know?
amazed from top 40, man. When it got to like 39, we were like, wow, expected to drop
We've
off. And
done it.
Yeah, yeah, and the fact that it went higher and higher, and we had our label and managers and stuff say it's going to go #1, and we're like, "I'll stop
Get out
saying
of
that."
here,
And it wasn't. We just didn't believe it until we got told, which annoyingly was at 6 a.m. after 1 hour's sleep, just before we had to go live on TV for some show, and we were, not in the best of moods.
No,
but,
so everyone pokes their head out of their bunk, and
#1
Bev was
guys.
like, "Guys, we've got #1." Everyone's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, and then later on that night, we're like, "Hang on a minute, we got yeah, God!"
The party begins.
Yes.
It seems that American audiences are being far more receptive to European UK bands. I mean, there's quite a few UK bands here today. Heaven's Basement.
Today alone, yes.
Yeah, Heaven's Basement and Bullet for My Valentine. of
Asking
course.
Alexandria.
Yeah. So what does that mean exactly to you guys?
I don't know, but I would say that the UK, I think, went through a period over maybe the past 10 years, maybe a little further back than that, when there wasn't really a lot of good stuff happening in terms of rock music in the UK. It's a much smaller place. It's very dominated by the top 40. So there's a lot of dance, all that kind of stuff was big. And then over the past 5 or 6 years, there's been kind of somewhat of a renaissance with British rock music, and that's really exciting. Like, it's amazing. And it feels just like over here, American audiences are receptive to it, and they're willing to hear something different. I mean, it's not like we sound overly British in terms of the music we play. So I don't know if it's just like we're coming at it with a British sensibility or what, but it's just we've been made to feel very welcome, and we're a part of a handful of bands that are in that place.
And we hear a lot, "Wow, you're from England," as opposed to, "Oh, you're from England." So which
we
is a
haven't
great
worn
thing
out
for
the
us.
goodwill yet.
So
Give us time.
you guys may know more than anybody else. Are there other bands back home that we should be looking out for?
There really is some.
No, there's nobody but us. So
Yeah,
don't
Young
even
Guns
look.
is all we need to worry
Just
about.
play us.
They're actually, it's actually the rock music scene in the UK is actually in a really good position at the moment. There's a lot of bands called Death Havana, like
Yes.
bands like Unit 6, bands
We
that
Are
are
the
doing really well
Oceans.
over there. Yeah, and
Lots
it's
of
really
kind of
nice to
younger
see.
rock bands doing really well.
Yeah.
People that are annoyingly young and youthful, 21 years old. Bands
Right,
like You Meet
yeah.
at 6 doing really well. And we're like, screw you guys.
Yeah, and you're like, "Oh, they're rubbish," and they're like, "Well, they're not. We're
But
just
they're not. They're
jealous
really
that
good. We're
they're
jealous
half
of
our
their
age."
youth. But yeah, rock is in a great place right now.
Yeah.
And there's different genres of it too. I mean, you know, the hardcore, the Asking Alexandria style.
Yeah.
You know, from
Right.
the old school, like Heaven's. I mean, it's really great to see that.
Yeah, it is right across the board.
And American audiences, they just want to rock.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's the
ultimately.
thing we've really noticed. Like doing, you know, this is probably like our 9th or 10th festival, you know, in the last couple of months we've done, and like we played, you know, a bunch of shows early on. We played one at 11 in the morning the other day, and
Yeah.
it was raining, and we're like, oh, who is going to turn up? It was like a Tuesday or something, and yeah, it was like, you know, a couple of thousand people jumping up and down, going crazy on like a Tuesday morning, you know, with rain. And it's something that, you know, everyone's always up for a good time, no matter what time it is. And
And that's
they
the
don't
most
know about
exciting
it.
thing,
It
isn't
is,
it?
yeah.
Like for a bunch of British boys to come over here and come from a place where rock music is still kind of a niche thing, you know, it's a little bit counterculture, it's a little bit left in the middle, and you come over here and people are 12 years old crowd surfing, people are 50 years old crowd surfing,
Yeah.
everyone's just getting involved and having fun. And there's almost just like a greater degree of acceptance and
Yeah.
tolerance and appreciation of rock music, which is great.
And it's one of my favourite things I saw a couple of shows ago. There was sort of an older sort of guy, sort of probably late 40s, 50s, and he sing along to the songs, and he had this like little kid on his shoulder who's probably no more than 8 or 9, and he was singing along as well, and they're both just singing along, going, and it's amazing to see that kind of
Such a
difference,
trip.
you know, which was really good to see.
That's what it's all about, man. And you know, you got some
Exactly.
fans back in Boise. We love you guys back there.
Yeah,
and,
Knitting Factory,
yeah.
man, great place.
Great place.
Can't
and
wait
we
to get
we
back.
love those guys. So, you know, anytime you want to come back, let us know. And in other words, have fun. Enjoy yourself.
Thank
Set's
you.
over. Party it
Yeah.
up a little bit, all right?
Thank
We
you,
shall,
guys.
man.
Back
Thank you.
to drinking.
That's
Yes.
right. Young
We never
Guns
stopped, it's fine.
out at Rock on the Range.